Flexibility is great. That's why there's yoga. Flexibility for your insurance coverage is great too. That's why there's United Healthcare Insurance Plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, United Healthcare Insurance Plans offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage for medical, vision, dental, and more. One of these plans may be right for you if you're, say, between jobs, coming off your parents' plan, turning a side hustle into a full hustle, or even missed open enrollment. Want more flexibility? Find out more about United Healthcare Insurance Plans at uh1.com.
On today's Smart 7, PM concedes donor remarks racist and wrong, Britain's prisons at breaking point and much more. It's Wednesday 13th of March, it's No Smoking Day, and happy birthday, Adam Clayton.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
It may seem incredible, but the Tory government is now into the third day of a new scandal, this time over racism. Monday saw reports that a major Tory donor, Frank Hester, had made deeply unpleasant remarks about Labour MP Diane Abbott, including saying that looking at her made you want to hate all black women and that she should be shot. However, it took until Tuesday evening for Rishi Sunak's spokesperson to concede that the Prime Minister thought the remarks were in fact racist and wrong. London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who has just been through a Tory Islamophobia spat, says it's too little too late.
We have another example of a Conservative donor making comments that are clearly racist and clearly misogynistic. What Rishi Sunak needs to do is to grow a backbone, and what the government should be doing is returning to this man the money he's donated to them.
More accusations emerged on Tuesday evening as The Guardian reported on remarks Mr Hester made about Indians and a trip to Malaysia. Tory MP Marcus Fish says he was surprised that it took the Prime Minister so long to respond to the remarks.
I was a bit surprised that there wasn't a stronger condemnation earlier, because it's clearly a thing that is going to affect a lot of people. He's a good guy. He's absolutely right to be proud of the aspiration that the Conservative Party represents.
There was a warning on Tuesday that Britain's prisons could be entirely full by Easter. There are approximately 89,000 prison spaces in the UK, and the current population is over 88,000, so the government has announced plans to avoid a prison accommodation crisis. The Justice Secretary Alex Chalk says the root of the problem is what's known as FNOs, that is foreign national offenders. It's estimated that there are over 10,000 of these non-national offenders in the prison system, and Alex Chalk says the government is going to move them on.
These foreign criminals are not only putting a strain on the public purse, they are reducing the capacity of the prison system. And they should, we believe, be removed back to their countries of origin.
That may not be as easy as it sounds, and there was concern too over the second part of the emergency plan, which would see more prisoners being released from jail early. A rule change means that prisoners could be released up to 60 days before the end of their sentences, and Labour's Shadow Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood says this move is unprecedented.
This is the most drastic form of early release for prisoners that this country has ever seen. This is a measure that will cause shockwaves and deep concern across our country.
There was some good news on Tuesday as a ship set sail from Cyprus with almost 200 tonnes of aid bound for Gaza in an attempt to open a new maritime route which will speed up the delivery of essential supplies. It came as a BBC report on the IDF's treatment of medical staff from the NASA hospital caused outrage. A raid on the hospital took place in February, and BBC footage shows medical staff stripped and blindfolded in front of the hospital's emergency building. The medical staff told the BBC they had been beaten, tortured and even assaulted by muzzled dogs while being held in IDF custody for days. The BBC says it has presented all of the allegations to the Israeli Defence Forces, who denied that medical staff were harmed during the operation. There were questions asked in the Commons on Tuesday, and Foreign Office Minister Andrew Mitchell says the government will take the report very seriously.
There needs to be a full and thorough investigation and accountability for what was reported by the BBC, and the Foreign Office is pressing for full transparency and accountability in that matter.
The Caribbean island of Haiti has been going through 10 days of absolute chaos after criminal gangs effectively took control of the country as the government collapsed. The trouble started back in July 2021 when President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated by Colombian mercenaries. The current unelected Prime Minister Ariel Henry had to flee the country as protests gathered pace and gangs set fire to police stations, stormed ports and prisons and blockaded the international airport. The main gang leader, Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, a former police officer, warned warned the international community that Haitians must decide what happens next. Prime Minister Henri has now resigned.
After the Council of Ministers accepted to put into place a transitional presidential council, the government I am running will remove itself immediately after the establishment of the council.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Arsenal break 14-year streak, and it's another nun-based horror movie. Right after this. Welcome back.
Tuesday night saw the second leg of the Champions League last 16 get underway. Barcelona welcomed Napoli, with the scoreline balanced at 1-1. Meanwhile, Arsenal hosted Porto at the Emirates, with Mikel Arteta's men 1-0 down from the first leg. Barcelona won 3-1 on the night and 4-2 on aggregate and head to the quarter-finals. Arsenal took things to extra time and then penalties, finally winning 4-2 and securing their quarter-final place. Mikel Arteta was relieved.
It's been 14 years, so that's a long time for a club like Arsenal. Not to do what we've done today, but it shows how difficult it is. We have to really dig in today and find the magic moment that we found at the end. But so proud and I'm so happy.
This Friday is Comic Relief Day, as the nation dons a red nose with the goal of raising funds for those who need it most. The original founders of the charitable empire were Lenny Henry and writer Richard Curtis, and now after 39 years as host, Sir Lenny is ready to introduce a new generation. The show is a fundraising machine generating £34 million last year, and Lenny says while it's hard to let it go, it's the right decision.
I've got mixed feelings about it. It's very emotional because it's been such a long time. You know, I've been doing it for half my life, really. Yeah. But it's lovely because we're passing the baton on to a new, younger generation of performers who I think will give it the boost that it needs to go the next bit.
Whatever is going on in Hollywood at the moment, nuns and horror movies seem to be hot right now. Last week, we had Sydney Sweeney chatting about her convent-based horror Immaculate. Now, this week, we've got the brand new trailer for The First Omen. It's a prequel to legendary horror movie The Omen, and it's set in Rome. It stars Nell Tiger-Free along with Sonia Braga, Bill Nighy, and the voice of TalkSport, Ralph Ineson. It hits cinemas on April 5th.
There's this girl at the orphanage. I think that she really needs someone to look out for her.
Carlita suffers from a touch of madness.
You must be very careful, Margaret. Bad things will start to happen around her. Evil things.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.
Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Spin your passion into a business with Shopify and break sales records with the world's best converting checkout. Let's hear that one more time. The world's best converting checkout. Shopify's legendary checkout makes it easier for customers to shop on your website, across social media, and everywhere in between. Now that's music to your ears. Any way you spin it, you can be a smash hit with Shopify. Start your $1 a month trial today at shopify.com/records.